if you feel maybe a little uncertain, or like, oh, I don't need to ask questions, I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to tell you that you don't. You should talk to an expert. I've had a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of careers, but I'm way older than you are. I would still go to Lisa now if I wanted to look for a job or to maybe explore a different kind of career option. All right, so you can see there are all kinds of things that they have in here, and this focus too. Wow, I had never seen this before anywhere, and this was so interesting. I was just really blown away. Just all the things that it can help you do. Are you a student veteran? We have a lot of veterans here at our school. Congratulations. And here are some materials for you. We have students who have disabilities, students who are undocumented or DECA students, and just any kind of employer resources. Sometimes it's a good idea to get a feel for what the employers want. Now, thinking about the kind of presentations that she does, I think this is the standard presentation that she gives to everybody. But look, here's a handbook. Oh, maybe you're feeling like you don't want to come chat with people today. Although I would encourage you to move past that feeling. You have to be able to talk to people. Um, this is Go ahead and browse the handbook. Here's a sample resume. Practice interviewing. Uh, Now, I'm not hiring anybody here in the library right now, but I'm just going to tell you, in my career, I've been a librarian for 25 years, and I had other careers before that. I have interviewed and hired literally hundreds of people. I also have worked with, I made all my students write resumes. I made them write cover letters because you have to practice that kind of stuff. This is how you present yourself to an employer. I I will tell you, and I don't know you personally wouldn't do this, but I will tell you, so many students that I have seen and who have applied for jobs with me are terrible at this because it's a skill. It's like anything. Why would you think that you're just born knowing how to be a good interviewer? If I ask you what kind of tree you'd like to be, I actually expect you to give me an answer, and I expect it to be a good answer and hopefully interesting. And the answer to that one is it is kind of a dumb question. But if I ask that in an interview, you're the employee potentially. You need to have an answer. What would you say? We're taking a moment. I would say something like, I'm the kind of tree that you can rely on and who is going to show up for work on time every day. Something like that. So you want to practice that though, because again, I think I've said this. I've had a bunch of jobs. I started out in interviews just making a fool of myself. And, that's not good. That's not helping. How can an employer know that I'm wonderful unless I have some practice? Whatever sort of qualms you might have about this, oh, I don't know, I'd be embarrassed. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'm just going to tell you to grow up and get past that now because you don't have time for things like that. You need to practice interviewing. And if you don't happen to have a person who's an expert in your personal life, and I mean, I don't, uh, talk to Lisa because she will help you. And everybody needs help in being a better applicant for jobs. And a bunch of your colleagues here, people who go into school with you, a bunch of them will not ask for help. And, if you do the tiniest bit of work and trying to get better, you're going to be better than they are and you're going to get the jobs. It's not a zero-sum game here. It's not total competition, but, if there's one job, I've never had a job where fewer than 100 people applied. So just know that and it's more, definitely jobs now, if you're applying for jobs over the last 2 or 3 years, I've seen employers saying that there are 1,000 applications that they get for jobs. How are you going to stand out against 100 other people, against 1,000 other people? You definitely can. A whole bunch of those 100 other people are not going to be any good, but it's not just going to happen. It's not just going to be because you're a nice person and your mom likes you or something like that. You need to practice. You need to be good at it. You need to have skills. I'm telling you, I mean, study hard and do well in school, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing. But I think the most valuable thing you can do for yourself is work on your career prep. And hey, maybe you don't even know what you want to do. Yeah, I hear ya. I ended up with two bachelor's degrees at the same time because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I have never used either one of them, even for a minute. It's okay. You're probably, most of you, you're going to change jobs, you're going to change careers, you're going to change your entire things that you do at work. That's fine. You just want to start somewhere. You don't have to stay in that job, in that career, in that profession, in that field. You don't have to stay there forever. It's fine. Pick some place to start. What could you see yourself doing for the next 5 years, 10 years? Great, do that. But when you talk to Lisa, she will be able to help you better and she'll give you some of this career advising and help you to work on things. Um, yeah, the focus two assessment. I said, if I had had that was when I was a young person back with dinosaurs, it would have helped me, and maybe it would have helped me to land in the job that I do love much sooner than I did, as I've had a bunch of really terrible jobs. All right, what else could you do to help make yourself a little bit better in terms of career exploration? Obviously, doing well in school is important. That's great. Picking up any kind of additional, if you can pick up like a part-time job, or, and I know everyone is not in a position to be able to volunteer. I don't think that's a requirement. But if you are, if you're in a position that you could put in, even 5 hours a month with places, some places will let you kind of test things out a little bit. That would look good. Can you take like an extra training class? Can you do something online? Whatever you can do to help just stack up good things that you could put onto a resume that you can talk about in an interview. Employers know that most of you are young and many of you have not had a lot of career experience yet. That's fine. They get that and that's not a problem. But what can you do that will show that you're good at things? So some of this is we're looking at the library page right now, and I just typed in the search, I just wrote career exploration. It's not even a particularly good search, but it's getting us where we want to be. So I'm looking at the first 50 of the 12,035 results. That's pretty cool. So here's a book about career exploration. Here's another book. Here's an article about college students' career adaptability. You need to try things. You need to do things. And if all you're doing while you're in school is going to class, I mean, that's kind of a minimum. And I'm not being critical. I know a lot of you have other jobs and you have 20 children at home and you have big families and you have other things that are standing in the way of your ability to add extra things. I get that. And I'm not being critical. I'm just saying it's going to make your life easier if you can figure out how to do something a little bit extra. Join a group, join one of the groups on campus, join a group off campus. It's always good to be able to talk about your leadership experience. So you can say, oh, and I was the leader in a scout troop, or I was the leader of the choir at my church or at my temple, at my synagogue, whatever, anything. If you can figure out how to kind of spin it in a way that makes you look a little bit more impressive, awesome. Oh, and those 20 kids that you have, or 20 younger brothers and sisters that you have at home, talk about that. If you've got nothing else to talk about, that's good management skill, maybe good budgeting skill. Uh, so this is why I suggest going to talk to Lisa. You want to make sure that you have enough good things to say about yourself that you're going to be really impressive. And because we want you to get great jobs, I'm waving my hand at the whole campus here. We want you to have an awesome job, something that you love. And I mean, Sorry, this is the bad news. You're probably not going to get rich. That's all right. Most of us are not rich. So think about what you do want. What do you want out of your career? What's going to be good for you? What's going to be right for you? There's no one answer. But if you go to our career services, if you spend a little time looking through some of that material in the library, send me an email. I'll send you back all kinds of good material. We'll make sure that you have as much as we possibly can to help you to be successful in your own career exploration. And again, don't feel overly pressured. Understand it's okay. Whatever you're doing is okay. You want to look good. You want to go into something that's going to be fun for you or interesting to you or something. This is not your whole life. You're not deciding your entire life here, but you're probably deciding the next several years of your life. And yeah, again, that stacking idea, what you're doing in your 20s, then you stack on top of that what you're doing in your 30s, then you stack on top of that what you're doing in your 40s. It all matters. And if you can start off well in your 20s, that'd be great. I didn't, but you can be better than me if you're still in your 20s. So, all right, I'm just kind of yakking on and on now. Think about your career. Think about what you want to do. You don't need to know everything yet, but talk to some folks who can give you some good suggestions. And I would really talk to Lisa Moore over in Career Services, even after you graduate. Even if you're going to graduate this year and you just didn't have a chance to kind of get that all worked out, we're still here for you. This is all available to you after you leave us. So come back, see us, talk to Lisa. I can give you some information. I can help you through the catalog. We're all here for you. All right? Go be awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.